Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And as we carry on doing 2 videos a day, I honestly think we're into the 80s now in terms of days we've been doing that for. I don't know if we'll get to 100, but it might get close. So Simon's done a puzzle already today, and I'm going to do this one. Now, the strain is beginning to show from those 80-something days. I had a bit of a shocker yesterday in 2 ways. One, I think I forgot to switch to my superior microphone, so the sound quality was pretty poor. Sorry about that. And secondly, this was worse. I missed out one of the markings in the Sudoku when I was setting it up. So that meant, rather incredibly, the puzzle was still solvable with the same unique solution, but I made it about 100% harder than it needed to be, and slightly less symmetrical. So certainly my apologies to Rain, the compiler. I hope they're not too angry about that. It was amusing, I guess, in the end that it was still solvable, but it was significantly harder than it would have been as the compiler had intended. So there we go. Let's hope nothing like that is happening today. Now, this puzzle is from one of the people who has been inspired to set a puzzle by watching our videos, which is always lovely. This is by Philip Huber, and it's a royal clone Sudoku. There's basically, as well as normal Sudoku rules, there's 3 rules. One is just some killer cages that you may have to look fairly carefully to see. The numbers are reasonably clear, but the dotted lines may merge into the background a little, but this 17 cage is 5 cells and this 35 cage is 5. However, I prefer to leave the colours as they are because as well as a king's move restriction, which is why the puzzle is royal, there are some clones, which are these grey shapes. They're exact clones of each other, so same digits are in the same positions. And that is the puzzle. So royal clone, royal because there is a king's move restriction, which means that we couldn't have an 8 here, for instance, because it would be a king's move away from this 8. So that is adding sort of 1 cell of diagonal added to the normal Sudoku restrictions. And that's it. Do try the puzzle on the link below the video. I'm looking forward to it. And let's get cracking. So I think the shapes here, remember these clones are exactly the same as each other. So it's a bit like showing this 35 and 17 clone overlapping in 1 cell. Now, if we remember the rule of 45, that any row, column or box adds up to 45, if we add these 2 numbers, they make 52, and the difference has to be the overlap of this cell. So the central cell there has to be a 7. And we can put that 7 in the 3rd branch of the clone here as well. Now, the other thing that these... Oh no, the number... Yeah, this is 9, 8, 6 and 5. And this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 to make the killer sums work. And obviously in each of... Yeah, we don't need to fill in 5, 6, 8, 9 there because this cell can only be a 5 to make that 6 gauge work. This one can't be a 9 now, but I think it could still be a 6 or 8. To make the 17 work, that would have to go with a, what's my maths, 2 or 4, which is quite possible. Now, these are any 2 from 6, 8 and 9. One of them must be a 9, but that can't be, this actually can't be an 8 because that would be a 5. We've already got one in the box. It can't be a 6 because that would be a 7. We've already got one in the box. So that is a 9 and a 4 there. That makes this a 2. That makes this an 8. So we get 6 there and 3 there, and we've already solved the clone. So that is a nice start. And now, I mean, we've done the clone part of the puzzle. Now it's a king Sudoku, basically. So from there on, it's regular Sudoku, but remember the rule about kings not being able to touch each other. So we've got fours there, and all digits act as kings. Those fours are ruling out those 3 cells and these 3 cells. So 4, for instance, is restricted to one of those. I don't know, where should I actually be looking most? 5 here is even better. That 5's ruling out those ones. This 5's ruling out those ones, so we can place a 5 up there. That's nice. Yes, because the 4 was filled. I was just wondering why that wasn't exactly symmetrical, because the central digit was filled in that box. We could do that. Now, this is either 2 or 8. 3 is ruled out by the king's move. Let's keep going here. Where should I be looking? This one. 8, 4, 2, 3 in the row, 6, 9 in the column, 1 by a king's move. That's 5 or 7. This 5 thing almost works here again. So one of these two is a 5, but we don't have the central box, the central cell filled as there. Now, are there any other digits that appear? Yes, this 4, right, 4 and 4, yes, and those two are ruled out by that 4, so we can put a 4 in here. That's nice. One of those two is a 4. Can we keep going with 4s, or is that the limit? No, I think all of those can be. 4 up here is restricted to those two, but that's not very helpful. Could be any of those. Interesting. How do you keep going with some momentum here? Right, 3s, that's ruled out. And those two. This one's ruling out those. So 3 is in the top row up there. And therefore one of those two. 8s, not those and not those. So 8 is in one of these two, in row 2. And that means, one of those two in row 3. And we have got an 8 there, so one of those two, can't quite rule them out. 8 there, 8 there. So 8 in one of those. Now that is quite an interesting restriction. It doesn't quite rule out that cell, 8 being in one of those, but it does rule out those two, because whichever cell 8 is in, it can't be in those two. Now this 8 is ruling out those, this 8 is ruling out those, so the other 8 is in one of those two. But I haven't actually placed it. It's intriguing that this works by king's move. It almost doesn't look, that 9 is ruling out all those 3, that one's taking out those, so 9 goes in one of there and one of those two. We are getting some interesting restrictions down here. 6 is restricted to those 3 in that box and those 3 in that box. Yeah, numbers on the edges of, like, numbers that command 3 cells in an empty box are quite useful. So that 2 is ruled out of there. That one's ruled out of there. So 2 is in one of those two, and therefore one of those two. I hope this is going to lead to a conclusion soon. 1 is ruled out of all those 3, and that one out of all those 3. So 1 goes in one of those and one of those. Yeah, there's quite a lot of pressure on these cells. Maybe I should just study that. 5, 1, 3. 4, 6, 8. No, it could be 9, 2 or 7. No, that's not so profitable. So we've looked at 4s. Surely we have to work with these numbers that are right on the edges. I mean, 6 isn't so good there. It still leaves 4 cells, 3 cells. Okay, I'll fill it in. 6 in one of those. 5. Okay, we had a 5 that we've placed. Should probably have used that quicker. Look, yes. That's restricting 5 to those two because of this 5. So now we've got a 3-5 pair there. Let's take them out of the corners. 9, 7, 1, 4, 3, 5. It doesn't actually help put anything in, but it does. This can't be an 8 because 8 is restricted to those two. So that's 2 or 6. Ooh, if that was a 6, it would force the 6 there, which would force the 5, which would force the 5. But I can't be sure it is. 6 could theoretically also be in any of those, I think, up there. Interesting, though. Now, 5, 5 down here, we get a 5 in one of those two, but that's not part of a triple because the 6 goes round, part of a pair, because the 6 goes round the corner. What about this cell, though? 8, 7, 2, 4, 3, 6, 5. It's either 1 or 9. Can't quite determine which one. This is just not giving much away. Nice puzzle. Nice puzzle. It's keeping its secrets. 3, 5 is a pair there. Okay, so 1 maybe? No, we've already got 1 up in that box in one of those two. 1 up here though, that 1 is ruling out those two. This one is ruling out all of those. So 1 there is in one of those two. 1 here is in one of those two. Doesn't get much done. Yes it does. It works on this cell, which cannot be 1 anymore because 1 is restricted to those two. So we do get a digit. Now, can we actually use that? Yes, 9 now is here. So we can take 9 out of that cell. Doesn't fix those 9s. Does this 9 help up here? Not really. 9 in one of those two, but I don't know which one. But 9, 4 here. Now, 6 and 5 can't be here or in any of those. But they could still be together, or 6 could be there. No, 6 couldn't be there. Yes, I should have noticed 6. This 6 is ruling out and that 6 is ruling out the top 3. That 6 ruling out the other ones. So 6 is in one of those two. Now that does mean 6 can't be here, and this now is a 6-5 pair. That means this is a 1-3 pair, and I can fill them in at the top. Hurrah! Now we've actually got some traction. 1, 4, 3, 5. But 9 and 7 don't reach into the square by king's moves. And how about down here? 9, 5, 6, 4. 3 must now be in one of these two. Probably that's been the case for a while, actually. 7. One of those 3. But unfortunately, there's no single cell candidate. Now, what have I not used that I've found recently? This, for instance, is either 6 or 9. Now, this is not 1. Aha! So, yes, 1 is now placed up there. But that doesn't resolve those ones. 1, 3, 5. 2. Now, can't be in, because of that 2, those cells. Because of that 2, those ones. That one, because it's been restricted to 3 and 5. Not there. So 2 is in one of those two. Oops. And 2 is in one of these two, therefore. It really doesn't give up easily, does it? It's cleverly made if this still keeps working. And it looks like it's going to. I just feel I've got so much written in this box that this has to be the place to carry on, but the king's move isn't helping. 6, 9... 8 or 7 here. Now, if that was 8, that would make 8 here. it would make 8 here. Oh, 8 has now become here. I should have spotted this earlier when I put that 9 in. It ruled out one of the only possibilities for 8, which fixes the 4 in turn. Oh, I've just been staring at this. These can't be 4, so that's a 4. We can take it out of there. One of those two is a 4. Now, is that significant? Not quite. 1, 5, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9. Ah, 6 now. 6 in this column can't be here because of that 6, and it can't be here because of that 6, so that is the 6. Okay, so I can take out the 6 pencil mark there. 6 in this column has to be there. And that's fixed the 6, 5 pair. Now 5 in row 8 has to be there. This is 2 and 3, which must be that way round. That fixes the 8. Ooh, yes, things are happening now. 5, 4, 8, 9. 1 and 7 to go in there. Don't know. This is a 1, 7 pair now. This is a 2, 8 pair at the top, so I can do them. That makes this 6. Let's take the pencil marks out. This is now a 9, 7 pair up there. Ah, 2 and 7 to go in column 3. Yep, they're done. That fixes box 8. That fixes row 9. And I think maybe we're on the home straight now. But what a clever puzzle. That really held its secrets back, didn't it? Very nice. 5 there. 4, 8, 6 across here, so that's 8. Don't know about 4, 6. This one is a 2. 3, 5, 2, 1. 4 is up here, still don't know which one. Okay, let's look along here. Yes, 5 in this row can't be in either of those two because of that 5, so it's there. So take that into the column. Yes, that fixes the 3, 5 pair up there. 2 must be there because of the box. That 7 fixes the 9, 7 pair. 9 and 4 up here. I think I've been a little slow over some of this, but I really don't think it's easy. If you were doing this in a competition, it would take quite a time. It's a nice puzzle. So here we have a 9 and a 7, a 9, and finish with a 1. So there we go. That is the solution to Philip Huber's Royal Clone. Thank you very much, Philip. That is an excellent puzzle, and I commend it to you and Philip as a new name in our setting profile. Thank you very much for watching, and we really hope to see you again on the bonus content and indeed on the main Cracking the Cryptic video tomorrow. Thank you, and bye for now.